on a global scale, that's the kind of work we need to do with all children, and empower them, because I always say big pharma's not going to relent. Big food is not relenting. Like, we need to empower each individual. So let's use that 2-year-old or the 2.5-week-old example. If we know a genetic profile of a 2.5-week-old baby on what foods they should eat, do we have to keep checking the test over time to see if those genes change? And will they change with things like puberty, vaccination schedules? Like, what changes them?
That phenomenal question. All right. So this 2.5-week-old baby, which what we do is we do the intersection of the mother's genes, the father's genes, and the baby's genes, and the mother breastfeeds to that which is the lowest common denominator of what is best for that baby. Okay. So, and what's expressed. And yes, again, yes, it will change. This is the dynamism of us. This is why the whole aspect of the Cochrane method is eating to your genetic blueprint and your current state of health. So if you've just had a puberty expression, okay, so now you're this young lady and you've got all these hormones circulating. Well, those are fat soluble. And by the way, you have the MTHFR C677T gene polymorphism, which you're already recycling. You're predisposed to recycle estrogen. Oh, and you have a lot of yeast infections, which is candida. I call candida the biofilm layer around candida, the jelly donut, because it's a lipid layer, right? And it makes candida really hard to get rid of. Then what we do with these young ladies is during your period in mid-cycle, you go zero fat, because your body's already having to manage that overburden of the hormones. And I will tell you, it makes a huge difference in their, not only in the way that they look on the outside, where their face is much, less acne prone and they're less fluffy, but mental health is so important, because estrogen and serotonin compete for the same little part on your cell receptor site. So when estrogen's out of control, that's why women's PMS, PMDD, and when women go through menopause, similarly, that's why they used to say, well, she's going through menopause, so she's having these wacky moods. Well, I say, it's my liver and my estrogen that's recirculating, and let me fix that, and then I'll be back to normal. So your question around vaccines, I really hope that one of my goals, long-term goals on this planet as a human and an individual, that we are so much in our power. Mindy, we have so much power when we're in our power, and each person has more power than we could ever imagine. So as a mother, I got into this because my son I was told was broken. And so there's a whole story behind that. And now he's not broken, for sure.
Of course.
And so if we're going to, and I'm not completely anti-vaccine. However, if you have certain genetics, you better know what they are. You better not vaccinate in the wrong way. And now what I will say is, over the last 20 years, vaccines have gone from like 17 vaccines to over 80 vaccines. And I work with a lot of autism. And when these vaccines get joined together, 5 in 1 is a disaster. If you can't methylate, if you can't break down protein, if these viruses, our proteins are attenuated in their life, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
I think the idea that there's a one size fits all, whether it's a workout, a medication, a diet, a fast, a supplement, like, everybody that's listening, just put that away. Like, that was a story that was created to simplify healthcare. And that is why we have so much chronic disease. Don't you agree?
So well said. Put that down, everyone. Put that down. It's so confusing, because you go down one route. Oh, okay, everybody do this. No, everybody do that. And when people ask me, Teri, what should I do? Is this good for me? And I said, maybe. Let's talk about it, right? And what's back to being in our power, Mindy, is that the body is constantly giving us feedback, right? So it's really important. So for example, if we get up in the morning, we have dark circles. Okay, that's an allergic shiner. So something I ate just gave me a histamine response, right? If I touch my forearm and I see a white indentation, my lymph isn't working. So I'm fluffy. That means my lymph isn't working. That's a fat metabolism issue. If I've got yellow around my mouth, my liver's clearly not working. If I have a gray pallor, that's kidney. That means I'm not processing my proteins. If I have fungus on any part of my body, I better stay away from anything that's mold, fermented, sprouted, even high histamine. So we can go down literally and scan our body every day and say, how am I and why am I?
Yes, yes.
Right? But we don't know what it means. So I say I'm multilingual, and one of my languages is body. I
Oh
talk
my God, I
body.
love that. I'm going to start saying that because I don't speak another language. So, but I do speak body. I
There you
totally
go.
speak body. Oh my God, I love that.